knights forced mate within a few moves.
What a game.
That was incredible.
This is absolutely insane. The wildest chess tournament we've seen in like a decade plus. Magnus Carlsen, world number one, universally accepted as the GOAT of chess by most, playing with black here against Wesley So with white, a guy who beat him earlier in Norway chess, and we're just seeing the wackiest of stuff going on. This is really shaking up the entire chess scene right now. Magnus comes out today fighting with a Najdorf variation, so aggressive, no holding back at all. Gotta respect him for that. And what a game we get. Just, I can't say any more. Let's see what happens here. Knight f3 is played, not the main knight b3 move. Magnus now develops the queen, stops the bishop coming out to c4. That's why he goes with queen before pony. Don't try this at home. We see a4 played. What's that all about? Well, it stops a bit of expansion. Bishop developing, bishop e2, castles, quick high five between the players to acknowledge that safe king, and bishop e6. Both players whisper, stack my bishop at the same time. It's a double stack, a whopper. Look at those bishops on the block. They even start giving it a bit of hand action over the board. It's incredible. Now Wesley jumps forward and he wants to win one of those. Magnus could drop back or head for c4, but he plays this one, allows his bishop pair to be gobbled up by Wesley, who does make a bit of a gobble noise at the board. Real good etiquette. He's a top professional. And then he lands his own bishop on this wonderful diagonal here. Magnus a bit worse. No two ways about it. And f4 now from Wesley. He makes this kind of guttural, visceral roar as he pushes that pawn like a mighty lion, kind of Hans Niemann-esque to be honest, opening up the board for his bishops. He's on fire right now. Magnus on the back foot. He covers that pawn a bit more here. King h1 does some safety. Magnus is soon going to copy, but first he slides back with the queen. Eyes the unprotected bishop. Don't take the pawn. You're walking into pins. So instead we get bishop a2, prophylaxis, which means to guard against before something happens. Comes from Greek or something like that. King h8 from Magnus here, h3, and the knight centralizes. It looks nice to take, double up the pawns, but you just open up the black pieces and you help give black a bind on the dark squares. Don't do it. So the queen was played into d4. I mean, Wesley So, he will sniff out a draw from a mile off. He's looking for a bit of this, and you can guarantee he would have backed up. And if this, he'd have done this. I mean, honestly, he loves the threefold repetition. He's almost as bad as Drawnish Giri. Sorry, Anish, we know you don't make draws anymore. We know you're a fighting player, but the memes are still funny. We now see knight f7, covers this pawn a couple times. e5's a threat. I mean, this is the lengths that Magnus is going to just to try and keep the game going. Sets up a nay stack. Now we see queen c4. Goes for the pawn and bang. Obviously Magnus changes the queens. Look at Terence. Down in Wyoming. Huge Magnus fan. He knows what happens when the queens come off the board. Pawn's under fire. So the bishop backs up. Opens the eyes of the rook. Rook ad1. That one's going to drop. So bishop c7 and b4, you can say. Look at Wesley's abs. I mean, he's like a cheese grater. 1,000 sit-ups a day. He keeps the mind sharp and the body. What an athlete. Magnus fights back with this pawn push. It's drama on both sides of the board. Bishop backing up here. King g7. You know the knight was going to drop. Now we see a5, and it's a classic Wesley move. It's so steady, it's so boring, and look at this. Who's not playing bishop b3? Stay on the pawn, maybe bounce around here, tickle the opponent. Even in real life, some of the top players do that. Wesley plays bishop d3. I mean, bro, giving up his bishops now. Magnus eventually snaps it off. Pawn recaptures here. I mean, what a boring guy. Come on, let's have a fight. He is in first place, to be fair to him, so he's trying to hold his lead, play it steady here, and he just doesn't give Magnus an inch. This is how the game proceeded here, and I'm sorry to tell you that Magnus and Wesley start heading things towards a draw, but fear not, because there is an Armageddon game to come. And the way Armageddon works is Magnus can just draw the game with the black pieces for it to count as a win, and Wesley with the white pieces has to win it for it to count as a win. He can't draw the game, counts as a loss, win to black, but Magnus will have less time. This is where they made the repetition. Move 52. We go to Armageddon. Let's check it out. Magnus is going to win, of course. He always wins, especially in low time. This is Magnus Carlsen, but no. Watch what happens here. This has got the chess world shook. What's going on with Magnus this tournament? Watch this game. It's one of the stinkiest openings we've seen in a while. Everything fine so far. Magnus playing a Wrath of Khan. But now, when his pawn's attacked, bishop e6. Don't take, by the way. This is the old trick, the old tactic. Wesley therefore doesn't touch the pawn. But he does attack it twice. And Magnus forgets his opening prep. Or hasn't prepped it. Who knows? He's kind of rusty, right? Magnus Rusterson this tournament here spends a minute and takes on c4. Not the best move, giving up his bishops. Bro needs his lotus chess. Learn those openings. If you want to get yours down, check the link below. It does end games as well as openings. You get so much for your money. It's unreal, and it's free to get started. I've been using it for months. I talk about nothing else. I play it basically every day. I hit my 100 game streak a while back, or 100 day streak. It's so much fun. It's like playing a video game basically, but you're learning chess, downloading that matrix knowledge. And Magnus Carlsen plays knight f6, gets scholared, mated. No, he doesn't. Can you imagine the scenes? I'd probably wet myself trying to write a title. Queen e7 from Magnus. Covers the mate threat and the pawn in the centre, which was on prise. So this queen backs up here. G6 from Magnus and h4. Great play from Wesley. Alpha Zero really taught us this stuff. Chess engines use these rook pawns as hooks, especially in these kind of structures. Magnus, of course, tucks the bishop into bed. Ooh, no, he doesn't. He wrist slips. It's the hyper fianchetto. Now, he's actually done it on purpose. Didn't want to stare at a brick wall with his bishop, but look at this. Castle's queenside and knight back to g8. Some in the spectator hall think he's setting up for the next game. He's that depressed. They begin to despair. Dad's absolutely ashamed. I thought you were off travelling on your gap year. What are you doing back here, you massive loser? Here goes h5. Finally, this guy goes out. Has to get a real job back home. Poor guy. Takes. F takes, of course. You couldn't take with the other one. Now we see pawn g3. Rook d8 from Magnus, not the best. What did the all-powerful engine want? Knight d7. Okay, fine. They're low on time. He challenges the open file. And f4 from Wesley. It begs a question. After takes, which Magnus plays, rook recaptures. Can you not take and simply win a clean pawn? Well, yes, you can. But however you do it, it's bad because this is played. And you're losing a piece to the pin. And even if you invert the move order, knight takes first, same problem, right? So let's back up. Don't try and win a pawn. Magnus runs with the king. Let's castle by hand, but look at this. f5. It's a horrible pawn structure. Look at the bishop, look at the pawns, king g7, and Magnus is now staring down the barrel of a massive camel toe. Look at it. Coming forward, about to smother him. He has to do something, so he reacts with pawn h6 to stop it pushing on. Now bishop e6, no longer really a bishop, more of a pope. Pope e6, raining blessings on Magnus's position. Rook d8's played, And what would you do here? Would you take off the rooks or keep them on the board? You should keep them on the board, of course, and it's what Wesley plays. If you would have swapped rooks, well, we're not angry, we're just disappointed. Maybe leave us an apology down in the comments or something like that. Have a good hard look at yourself in the mirror. Magnus should have brought the rook over to defend the pawn, but it's very passive, tough to play. He goes on a pony maneuver. We know he loves it. Opens queen and knight on this square. Always play king b1. G5 now from Magnus, and queen h2, about to crash through. This, of course, is the only saving grace. c3, knight f8, bishop backs up, and the trouble for Magnus is he's just tied down defending. Horrible structure, knight pinned in, a4 from Wesley, and Magnus Carlsen cracks. It's like they're doing to him what he's done to them for 15 years in this tournament. What should Magnus do? Knight d7 is the most stalwart defence, but he plays pawn a5, and it's just a quiet little move. What's the big deal? Looks innocuous, but queen f2, and how do you stop the queen from scything into the position and winning one of the pawns? And if you start playing the b6 business, well, it's still so nasty, hitting various things. I don't know where all the lines head. Was it queen e7, rook d1? Why can't you just take? Okay, you can, but there's just a long-term pressure on the pawns, basically. This bishop's bouncing back. This is a protected passer. It's very grim. So we didn't see b6. We saw the queen backing up, holds this pawn, but drops this pawn. And a massive pawn it is, because these guys are now split. They're crying. Queen b6 goes for the exchange of the queens. Magnus thought he could hold on here, and he's saying, fine, I'm going to take you. Or if you move your queen, I'm going to take your bishop. But watch this from Wesley. That song by LaRue comes to the head. He's going in for the kill. f6 checks on the board, and he's got an incredible follow-up. Why is this move so good? It's a deflection tactic. Knight can't take. That's illegal. You'd land up in chess jail. Rook can't take, or you drop a knight with check. And king can't take, or you crash through here with check. The king was overloaded protecting that pawn and the f6 square. Yes, you can back up, but something like this, and you're crashing through, eliminating the defender of the queen, then you win the queen. So you just can't touch the pawn in any of these ways. So that's why Magnus goes king g6. But look at this, the move we alluded to earlier. He's going in for the kill, sacrificing the bishop for chess glory. If you take, which Magnus didn't do, then there are different ways to win. Queen e8 check is one, because if queen blocks, there's this little deflection again. Win the queen. Whoops, win the queen. Not like that. But even cleaner, you can go bang. This is a mate in 6. Takes, and this is a checkmate. Just one line. Very cool. Pawns helping out. So, we didn't see Magnus take the bishop. Queen b8 was his best. Then you have to exchange, and white remains winning because the pawn heads to f7, protected by the bishop. This one can soon support. But Magnus misses queen b8, which was also lost. He plays knight takes on f6, and the game finished here. Move 34. Queen f8.
It's forced mate within a few moves.
What a game.
That was incredible.
Magnus Carlsen resigned because the rook is attacked, and so is the pawn here. You know what to do. Say you take, going for counterplay. This is mate. Say you move your rook. This is mate. I mean, literally, what do you even play? Stupid moves just to try and keep the game going. Wow, we're just not used to seeing it. Hope you enjoyed this incredible game. Have a look at Lotus Chess below. It's so good. And check out the video on screen if you want to see more madness from this tournament. Magnus Carlsen, what a story it is. Thanks.